How much does it cost to have a timeshare in a private jet? That is what I'm finding out in this episode of Money inspirACTION. It's a follow-up to when I found out how much it costs to have a flying card for a private jet. Because you might not know this, and this is what I wanted to find out, is if you want to fly a private jet, how do you actually go about that? Like, it's nice to have it as an idea, a fantasy, but something I know for a fact is that if you always think of things, ooh, like motorbike, in terms of a fantasy, you'll never create it because it's not actually in your reality. So I knew that if I wanted to bring private jets into my reality for myself and my beautiful dog Chico, then I had to actually find out some numbers. So what I want to share with you is something interesting, because when I did the first episodes about this, I called up a private jet company and I got the price for a flying card for 25 hours in the air with a specific plane. So it was actually 169,500 euros. And the really funny thing is that they actually sent me the information for a timeshare as well on the 7th of June. And today's the 10th of August. And I realized today that I've never bothered to open it. I've never even looked at it. And I suddenly remembered that. I was like, why did I not look at it? And I realized that unconsciously, it's almost like it would be so expensive that, and so beyond the reality that I've grown up with, that it just wouldn't happen. And I'm in a point now where I don't buy that anymore. I know that I can have a timeshare and a private jet and eventually my own jet if I want that. So I went through that crappy, I'm not looking at it stuff, and I opened up the email, opened up the brochure, just showed it to you, and I worked out how much it would cost to have a timeshare. So the local Harley Davidson crew is passing through, by the way. Oh, and you can check out, look at where I am. This is the bamboo garden, I like to call it. It's absolutely stunning. I'm literally surrounded by bamboo. And I like it. So, back to private jets. You're probably wondering, Sandy, just tell me, how much does it cost? So, let me tell you. If you do want to buy a timeshare, you need to buy at least 1/16 of a plane. Literally, if there were 16 parts in that plane, you'd own one of them. And with the company that I called up, it's a British company, you actually, hang on, it's not British, it's owned by Warren Buffett. So it's actually American, I just realized that. So you own a share in a plane, but you can actually fly any plane that you want from the fleet. And that's a big difference with the flying card, because the card only gives you hours on a particular plane, so it's quite inflexible. Whereas when you buy a timeshare, then you can actually give them 10 hours notice and you've got access to a whole fleet of planes. So depending on how many people you're with, how many dogs you're with, you can choose which plane you want to fly. So the numbers, the money. It costs, the starting price for the company that I found, which I won't mention because I'm not, I'm not doing an ad here, but the starting price is 339,000 euros, okay? 339,000 euros to own 1/16 of a plane. That gives you unlimited access as long as you've given them at least 10 hours notice, okay? So 339,000 euros. So what's interesting is that when I say that, that doesn't actually make me flinch. I'm not quite sure why, but I'm quite happy about that. If it makes you flinch, then ask for a bigger reality and ask for the universe to help you know that more is possible, because I've been asking that every single day for the past 3 years, and every single day more magic is showing up in my life, so it works. Okay, and I know that if you wish to have a private jet, you can have one, and I actually do wish to be able to fly on one at least, because I know that it will just expand my life and expand the lives of people in my life, such as my dog Chico. So I like the idea of having a timeshare, because then it's not every, I don't have a plane sitting there in a hangar that I have to take care of. I just go and use it when I want. So I think that's pretty cool. So let me finish up by showing you the different planes that you can fly. Okay, so we have it's in French because they sent me information from the French office. So this is a Cessna Citation Bravo. This is for a short flight, so Madrid to Milan. 7 passengers. It can fly for just under 3 hours. So you have to take all that into consideration when you're choosing your plane. Hawker 400 XP. That one is even smaller, so that's only 2.4 hours, and that could go from Nice to Dublin. Let's look at a bigger plane. This one here, a Gulfstream G550. So they say this is the business plane that's been the most sold across the planet. It can take 14 people and it can fly for up to 13 hours. So you could go from Paris to Peking with this, Beijing in China. Let's look at an even bigger one. The Bombardier Global 6000. So this is the biggest, okay, so I'm just translating from French. This is the most spacious business plane you can get, apparently. It can take up to 14 people as well, and it has a private salon, private living room. It can fly for 13 hours from Brussels to Rio de Janeiro. And just finish up with this one here, it looks quite cute. The Dassault Falcon 2000. So that can do 7 hours, and that can go from Dublin to New York. It takes 10 passengers. So you see here you've got like the seating plan, and you can work out what's going to suit you the most. So this is pretty interesting, I find, because the more I look at it, the more I know I'm putting it into my reality in the future, or the very near future. Haha. So, happy private jet flying, friends. See you soon.